What's up, guys? Your boy, 20K13. Gonna talk about 7 ways this week Raw was a major turning point in WWE Divas Revolution. And this comes from WhatCulture.com. September 14, 2015 was touted as being the season premiere of Raw as if last week's episode was some kind of dramatic episode ending an earlier season of the show. It was described by the authority as some kind of legitimately can't-miss TV. Of course, the only part of the show that was actually worth tuning in for was the continuation of the supposed Diva Revolution and the Divas Championship match. Needless to say, last night represented a major turning point for the Diva Revolution. One of the most common idioms in international relations is that the more things change, the more they stay the same. Unfortunately, despite WWE power broker and commentator forcing the term Diva Revolution down the fans' throat, the same can be said of how women's wrestling is presented on WWE main show. This week Raw was supposed to be the perfect moment for the Divas Revolution to go in a new direction, to do something bold and exciting, and to really shake things up in WWE. Sadly, the status quo prevailed, and in more ways than one. September 14, 2015 will be forever remembered as the day the Divas Revolution hit a major roadblock, which it might not ever recover from, whether it's from in-ring action, booking decision, or backstage occurrence. There are many reasons why the Divas Revolution reached a major turning point on the most recent episode of Monday Night Raw. Number 7. Stephanie McMahon used the term Diva Revolution for herself again. A revolution, whether real or manufactured, works best when it's done from a bottom-up approach. In other words, when someone at the bottom rise up, challenges the existing authority, and bring about genuine change in WWE, this almost happened until Stephanie McMahon got involved with the movement, whether it's because of creative difficulties or from her own inflated ego. Stephanie's character was shoehorned into the Divas Revolution storyline for no reason whatsoever. She was the one who introduced Charlotte, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch onto the main roster, and for a brief moment became something of a heroine to those who actually wanted to see change in WWE. This week we saw this once again as Stephanie plugged the Divas match, while she didn't say it outright by attaching her character to arguably the biggest match in the movement history. Stephanie took away from the story once again. Unbeknownst to her, Stephanie character once again demonstrated why she a hindrance to storytelling in WWE. Instead of progressing the storyline and using her negative quality to make the show more watchable, just when her heel character get more heat, she does something heroic or positive to deflect that heat. Because of Stephanie's involvement, the whole storyline didn't feel as genuine instead of giving viewers a real story that they can invest in about 3 young women who want to change the status quo by themselves. They became pawns for Stephanie McMahon to use in order to continue to justify her on-screen presence. Number 6. A big women's match gets forgotten completely. While the majority of fan attention at last Monday Raw was on the Divas Championship match, there was also a singles match between Paige and Sasha Banks. You remember them, right? Paige is considered by some to be the actual architect of the Divas Revolution, and Sasha Banks is considered by some to be the female equivalent of Shawn Michaels. Oh, you do remember them. Good, because it's obvious that WWE doesn't. These two put on a short forgettable match, the highlight of which was the devastating German suplex that Paige delivered onto Banks that looked both painful and technically perfect. Sadly, that particular spot was the only memorable part of this match. Why is that? Because this was just another throwaway match without any greater storyline. This represents a crucial turning point for the Divas Revolution because it may very well represent the future of the movement. While other commentators have discussed this matter before, the supposed historically of last Monday episode makes this occurrence a harbinger of things to come in WWE. If two of the most technically skilled women on the entire roster are going to be thrown together in a short singles match that doesn't do anything for either woman, that as big an indicator as any that the actual revolution might be over, and the same old booking system that keeps everyone but a select few at the same level is still in place. Number 5. Not every diva has received a positive booking change. With so much focus being on the Divas Revolution storyline, there are two women who can still be technically considered divas, who have not experienced any benefits whatsoever from the changes that were supposed to be brought about with this movement. Lana and Summer Rae. While the 9 women involved with the Revolution storyline being presented as wanting positive change in WWE, Summer Rae and Lana have become victims of the opposite of this booking approach. They booked in a god-awful Summer Sizzler storyline, complete with TMZ-style scandal, an overly cheesy script that makes everyone involved look less like wrestlers and more like C-rate actors. Shawn in particular has had to suffer dealing with terrible acting and abysmal lines. She called Rusev Ruru after all. This was a crucial point for the Divas Revolution because it's an indication of a recurring theme. Instead of Summer Rae's terrible promo being a one-time occurrence last week, the fact that she was forced to do more of the same this week indicates that this storyline corniness is going to continue. What that means is that there's still remnants of the old booking system and the need for over-the-top storyline that sadly will continue to portray some women in a negative way, instead of, as actual athletes who can wrestle as well as the men. Number 4. The booking philosophy around the women was proven to be unchanged. Last Monday was a major indicator of things to come in the future. As the season premiere of Raw, that episode served as a sample of the kind of booking decision that will be presented over the coming months. Because of that, we now know the direction that the Diva Revolution is going in. Just like every other mid-card storyline, it will end up floating aimlessly for months to come. In other words, all the negatives that have been discussed in previous commentary will continue to take place in the future. Last Monday, Raw demonstrated that what Raw booking is like during an exceptionally difficult period when WWE has far more competition from other shows and its key decision makers are under far more stress to churn out a script for each week's episode. Given that stress, we guarantee to see more thrown together singles and tag matches that don't have any greater meaning, lame interference finishing, and other booking inconsistencies that speak volumes of an incoherent booking style. Indeed, last Monday was the ultimate opportunity for WWE to start the season with something novel, simple NXT-like storylines that go long-term and lead to each match feeling different and important. What we got was the exact opposite, which is an ominous sign for what may lie ahead for this movement. Number 3. Who is the mastermind behind the Divas Revolution in the first place? On Raw, it was suggested that there's friction between the different members of the Divas Revolution, especially the NXT alumni. It alleged that Paige thought she was the mastermind because she was the first to challenge the Bella tyrannical reign over WWE. Charlotte, Banks, and Becky also suggest that they as the more technically skilled women are the ones behind the movement. Then there's Nikki Bella, who suggests quite arrogantly that as Diva champion, the additional attention on the division is her doing. And then there's Stephanie McMahon, who thinks that her actions make her responsible for the movement. This presents several potential directions for the company that can lead to fresh matchups on Raw, with the actual Revolution idea almost completely falling apart at this point, and Charlotte having another title shot at Night of Champions. The rest of the women involved in the movement now have new direction to go in. Once Nikki loses on Sunday, Will she keep feuding with Charlotte, or will her attention turn elsewhere? Will Paige start a feud with one of her Team PCB teammates, or will she target someone on Team Bad instead, and what will become of the women caught in the privacy of the movement, like Tamina, Naomi, and Alicia Fox? These questions and many more will be answered in the weeks and months to come. Number 2, the Bellas who represent the old ways are still in power. To most people, the Bellas represent an archaic concept of what a women's wrestler should be. Both of them were chosen more for their look than for their in-ring skills, and have, in many cases, failed to put on exciting matches and have cut terribly wooden promos. If this were a true revolution, the Bella would have been overthrown at the right moment. That moment came and went when Nikki retained her Divas Championship. In one fell swoop, all of the hard work and build-up of this so-called revolution was cast aside, as the symbol of the old ways found herself in the same spot as before the revolution had even begun. WWE should gauge their fan interest more carefully when making that booking decision. Fans wanted desperately to see Nikki lose her championship fair and square, not because she was an excellent heel, but because her reign beside its length had been nothing short of forgettable. With WWE making the creative decision that they showed on Monday, they now have a deflated audience who will care much less about what will happen on Sunday. This whole storyline was more about deposing the aggravating Bella from their ostensibly underserved spot at the top of the division than it was about the championship. Clearly, someone in WWE couldn't tell that Nikki Bella as champion was actually garnering genuine heat due to her influence on the Revolution creative decision, that creative direction. And speaking of influence, number 1, backstage influence trumped the actual Revolution storyline. The previous entry was on the what, and this one is on the how. This is the most infuriating moment of the entire Diva Revolution storyline, and it represents an unfortunate turn of events for the storyline, the likes of which it might not recover from. WWE had a golden opportunity to put backstage politics and ego aside for the good of the sport of women's wrestling and have Charlotte defeat Nikki Bella on the September 14, 2015 edition of Raw. In doing so, the whole Diva Revolution would actually been achieved, as Charlotte's victory would have been symbolic of the idea that hard work and skill are more important than anything in WWE, and a new star will be born to carry the division going forward. Instead, WWE decision maker decided to erase the title reign of AJ Lee by making Nikki the longest reigning Diva champion in WWE history. While this decision makes sense from a business standpoint, it speaks far more of personal pettiness and self-serving ego than it does a sound business decision. Nikki's reign as champion had been characterized by a serious lack of regular title defenses and backstage politics that are more irksome to wrestling fans than any storyline. The whole notion of her eclipsing AJ's reign without even defending it regularly spoke volumes of politics and self-aggrandizing manipulation than it did of giving fans what they want. Even if Charlotte defeats Nikki as Night of Champion, unless Charlotte herself goes on to eclipse Nikki's reign in terms of length, the revolution will have been for naught, as a total diva will go down in the history book as the longest reigning champion. There will be proof that the revolution didn't change anything at all. Well, that's it, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys on the next one. Peace.